Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion
Well,
son.
it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
That's fine.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the scene.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating. I cannot believe that, one, you allowed me to make that intro.
It was an awesome intro. I mean, truly was. It took you all day, but it was good.
Oh, no, it took me the last 8 months to compile all that chaos. What's up? Welcome to Third and Manageable with, I'm Student Body Right. And to my left, to your optically right, we have Mr. Matt Diegert. Hey, what did I do today? We had a guest. We didn't have a guest. We had a guest. Then we had too many guests. And, who do we have on? Who do we have on?
We'll do it live.
Mr. Harrison Phillips.
Super excited.
Fucking horrible Harry.
Super excited. Coming off that major contract, super excited.
Oh, I told him, I know your time is increasingly more valuable now, but do you have one for the small folk? You know? Man, it is, it's great to be back. Did you need that little reprieve, like the 10 days?
I mean, we only had 7. I mean, still between our podcasts, but man, that was nice. From going from giving that little bit of a mini bye as it is called.
Would you move it to any other week?
No, because you got the bye week later in the season, so I think it kind of worked out well. Yeah.
I gotta kind of back it up before. You remember me ranting and raving like a little toddler at daycare about how much I hate primetime games?
Yeah.
I think that's just me being spoiled, yo.
Yeah, I mean we got I think a combined of 3 or 4 in the entire drought era, and then all of a sudden we're getting 5 a season.
Yeah, I mean, if the Bills weren't doing well back in 2003, they just skipped that entire drive and put on a Jubilee commercial, like half off chicken nuggets, and if you get there early, we'll throw in a loaf of bread. I mean, what was I complaining about?
I don't know. I mean, I on one hand I like 1 o'clock games, but on the other, it's nice to see the Bills getting recognition in prime time in a national spot. Especially going against, because this is a big game in the AFC. I mean, you got the Jaguars coming in, and
yo, I'm finding myself, you know how I get so dialed in with the Bills, right? I don't really have time. Like, I'll watch the Jags when we play the Jags. I'll watch Dolphin tape when we play the Dolphins. It's kind of nice, engaging and looking at other teams and kind of seeing mentally where we fit, where we don't. And then kind of testing, my merit, with what's correct and what's not. I do know what is correct, always philanthropic, always handsome. Mr. Harrison Phillips.
What's up, brother?
You know how I always do that hokey joke that we look alike? I think I just want people to think that because, God, you are so just beautiful and, just achieved, and man, dude, I was sulking. I know we were texting about it before, but I wanted you, back with the fam. I realize you're close to the fam. People know that you're the dude that I'm getting plushies. Harrison plushies.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what a plushie is.
Yeah, neither do I, but I know it's soft. So,
well,
man, congrats, dude. There ain't a harder worker. There ain't a more loyal friend. There ain't a more selfless dude than you, man. What's it? How is this kind of feel that you can just go ball? Not that you don't always go ball. I mean, it's got to be just.
Yeah, man, it was kind of a big weight lifted off my shoulders. I'd been a little hopeful that potentially there would be an extension after the last, going into the last year of my contract and having a pretty solid year last year, staying healthy for a few seasons. But I knew that the Vikings had a lot of things they need to address. We need to figure out our quarterback this offseason. We needed to get Justin Jefferson locked up. We had some issues at different positions with injuries that came up and things like that. We also locked up our left tackle, which, totally need to do for the future of this franchise. And so I just was praying on it. I hoped that my time was going to come. And if not, I was fully ready to go play out hopefully a career year this season and see what free agency had for me. But, we kind of went back and forth a little bit towards the end of training camp and towards the start of the season. And we got pretty close to something getting done right before the season started. As, that's kind of the hope, is that you would get something done before that first game where there's risk of injury and things like that. But it just wasn't exactly where, my team, my agents and that team supported and thought that it was best. So we decided to play and said, like, all right, well, then maybe it's just not going to work, or we can talk about it another time, but let's focus on the game played. And then we went back to it and ended up getting some things that we all thought was a win. And, yeah, the fact that now, sometimes when you're out there in a contract year, every second of every thought is like, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. And, to be able to go out there and play free and to, put your body on the line for your brothers and go out there and try to make plays and do everything that my teammates need me to do is definitely a weight off the shoulders.
And you got one brand of ball, like just hard, all out effort. So like, how can, it's got to kind of play a little different. For anybody that doesn't know, Harrison's from Nebraska, man. So you're a little closer to family. But at the same time, like me selfishly, you have the family here, but isn't it a blessing of the duality of we're everywhere and we're, you got playmakers, across the board. And it's so nice that like you and Shay can like just build, whether privately and stuff like that. And I just think it adds to the legacy and like just kind of how you approach the game, I think one way you do everything is the same way you do anything, right? But
for sure.
And I kind of stole that a little bit from a guy I want to talk about a little bit. You familiar with a man named Poncho? He wore a wrestler's mask. Anything
absolutely.
Like that?
Yeah. No, a guy.
We made a pretty strong contribution to the Poncho Network, and one of the most formidable things that they told me and Matt, and I don't want to hog the thing. You want to tell what they told us about that jacket? The Army jacket?
No, you go ahead.
The Army jacket was, it's kind of hard to find a 4XL. Turns out we don't have a lot of armed services, that are, benching 225. What was it, 28 or 34? At
Me?
the combine? 225, 34?
A little more than that, but
41?
we don't got to go. It was in the 40s. Doesn't matter. We don't got to go there. We don't got to go there.
Dude, I have a plushie. I'm looking for any manhood possible right now in this podcast. No, but they just said, man, how you made everyone you touched within that network just so loved and just feel so cemented that like you're riding with them. And
Poncho's Army, man.
Yeah. So in presenting that jacket with them, when did the philanthropic endeavors really root you, man? Because like I can't remember a time where I've known you where like that. It's football's the main thing, but like 1.2 is your selflessness and charity. I mean, Walter Payton Man of the Year. Like, when did that get engraved in you, man? Like, real talk.
It was early. No, it was really, really early. I don't know. Probably through the values and morals that were being raised, my Christian morals that in our church we always had. After Sunday school, there was different philanthropic things you could get involved with. Serving at the homeless shelter, we worked, adopt families on Christmas. And then just from an early age, I was always drawn towards those who maybe needed an extra hand. Elementary school, the kid that was getting bullied or no one was sitting next to at the lunch table, it just felt extremely easy for me to go in and try to make that situation better for that individual. And then as my platform grew, the ability to give back grew, and the calling just felt stronger and stronger, and it was great.
I'll be honest with you. I think we all know at some point 97 is going to come off your chest. I guarantee you the way you've treated people in every step and every interaction I've had with you, they'll never forget how Harrison Phillips made them feel. And damn, man, I I just wanted to highlight congratulations. I know how integrated you are. DePaulo's, Harrison Playmakers, Poncho's Army. I just wanted to pass on the good message. Congratulations, and man, you're the dude.
No,
That's it.
well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you for, the support. It's been really cool. I can't post a single social media post without a Bills fan commenting on there or, tagging me saying if we could have one player back of all of Bills
Dude,
players,
isn't it
who would
nuts?
it be? And it's super cool because my career in Buffalo, I wasn't like a game wrecker. I wasn't changing games and stuff like that. I was doing the job that they had me do and the role that they saw me in there in Buffalo. It was what I was doing off the field, and the city of good neighbors recognize a lot of the person as well as the player. And then as my career has grown and my role changed, it's cool to see a lot of those fans still cheer for me and still hope for my success. And I know you were bummed about me signing an extension, prolonging what your hopeful return to Buffalo was. But I can tell you you weren't as bummed as some of my playmakers, man, because as supportive some of them were. For a few years I've been saying like, oh, you never know what will happen in 3 years, you never know what happened in 2 years, you never know what happened next year, and then now I just pushed it back to 3 years. So. It's really cool. More than anybody because of people like the DePaulos, the Kerns, the Kellys, the Mika. I mean, all my people in Western New York. I have to get back, and obviously my playmaker is growing. We've added more playmakers in the last. I just had a playmaker board meeting we do once a month with our Western New York board, and we added like 17 new playmakers in the last month, and we have an event coming next month. I mean, we're doing stuff all the time. We're still adding people to the Harrison's Playmakers family, and when I keep coming up there to Western New York, as long as those kids keep showing up, we'll keep trying to change lives and touch hearts. So,
man, you put me in a weird
amazing
spot, by the way, with that heavyweight award. You absolutely destroy it with that. Like, it is like probably like you were there. It's just like the most encapsulating story. And like, I grabbed the mic. I'm like,
all right, here we go.
So anyway, come get your hardware. I got nothing. So, but I did notice. Maybe you can shed some light on it. I have a couple of Harrison shirts, and they're all in short sleeve. What you don't have any long sleeve options, Harrison, or what's going? And you're such a Christian guy. Wouldn't you want to show off those? The Christian cross or something like that?
Look, it's all.
Dude, it's 97 degrees out, and you're in long sleeves.
All the sleeves that you would want to wear, I've confiscated so that I can make sure that I have a plethora of long sleeves in my game day locker room and on the practice field. I mean, so if you're looking for a Harrison's Playmakers long sleeve, I've probably confiscated all the big sizes to make sure that my arms are covered for the games. I still have an image to uphold here.
I can't believe you said it. I was baiting you.
All good,
Harrison,
man.
is that true or just a really good story? Do you actually think your arms are small?
I have played next to some unbelievable offensive, defensive linemen, and when I put my arm down in my 4-point stance and I look over and it looks like someone has 4 quads, their arms are as big as legs. I decided to cover them things up.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll end it.
I mean, I don't have any words because I mean, it could take me 90 lifetimes and I'm never just going to be like just you or anything. I love you, buddy. Good luck.
I appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you guys.
Harrison.
Keep killing it. Yeah.
Thanks, Harrison. Congrats.
And hey,
by the way.
I mean, what we got? Undefeated Bills, undefeated Vikes. I mean, AFC, NFC. Who knows?
Well,
It'd be lovely.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.
Give love to all my Buffalo fam.
Will do.
You're the man. So if anybody didn't catch that, the reason Harrison Phillips, which is ridiculous. Do you want to cap that off? Because I'm sick of talking. I get so nervous around him just because, like, in 90 lifetimes, I will not impact the amount of people. In 90 lifetimes, I will not be as that good in football. In 90 lifetimes, like, I say I look like him? Not even close. It's a nice thought. Tell him why he wears long sleeves.
That was definitely something. I mean, I heard the story before, but like that just gives credence to it, and it's a pretty funny story that somebody like Harrison, who's got big arms, feels like his are tiny, putting up over 40 40 at the combine at 225. I know that's a little chest, but
Yo, you saw how chippy he got. We're like, what was it, 28 or anything like that? We don't got to do that. We don't got to do that. Oh man, he's so good. But he brought up a great point. Is there anyone in competition for that? Like, who would you bring back?
I truly think he is one of the only ones. It's tough.
He's like the number one rated one tech
yeah,
last year, man.
Yeah, he would have been nice. I mean, and that's the thing. He's that like bring your lunch pail to work, blue collar, hard working guy that just is just there and playing. And he was supposed to be the next Kyle Williams.
He was.
And
he was.
Yeah.
Yo, let's talk about this. He was Kyle Williams. We just didn't get him long enough.
I mean, who knows? I mean, he's going to be, what do we say? He's going to be 29 when he's done with his current contract, and hopefully, at that point, he doesn't sign another extension with the Vikings or go somewhere else in free agency or anything like that, and he does come back to Buffalo.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Awesome, dude. I love that he said the Vikings thing, because you know what happened last time. He calls that fumble. Everybody knows it.
He does. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it,
Yeah,
truly.
he blew Mitch, and whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. It's great. But speaking of blowing up, the Jags have had our number, bro.
Well, before we do get into that, because we had to start this super quickly because Harrison had to hop on. Who we
call
sponsored?
1-800-BET-US. Speaking
Who
of
we
the number,
sponsored by?
Want to go 1-2?
As
fast
ahead,
as we can.
Go ahead and take the other one. Take the first ones, and I'll take Bet US.
We are sponsored by Sons of Erie Art Apparel. Man, we got some good stuff, man. And anybody who watching the show right now, you make a comment, I'll inbox you with how much are we doing?
25.
We'll do 25. 25 sounds as me. Sons of Erie we're sponsored by. We're sponsored by Kayak Pools. We're sponsored by Beauty Pools.
And for the fat guys out there,
Fat Boy Surf Club. We're sponsored by Iliad Apollos. We're going to be there on Sunday.
Yes,
a
we
lot
are.
of us are going to
Yes,
be
we
there
are.
on Sunday. We got like the whole network. We got the whole Buffalo room. We got you was with us. So, come to Iliad's on Sunday. If anybody didn't take off Monday.
I took off Monday. Absolutely.
I mean,
we have enough stuff to do with the network. I was like, I can't be, because we're probably going to be doing.
Sweetheart. We started this network 6 months ago. That was in the calendar about 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope that those lots don't open up.
4 hours. 4 hours is when they
When do those RV lots open?
They don't use RV lots right now because of the stadium.
Then where did I sleep? I'm just.
That was the box truck.
Wasn't it weird? Great tailgate, by the way, Ryan Stang. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's finish who pays us money.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a new sponsor this week. I know if you've watched any of our other shows, W Energy, you can check them out, w.gg, for 20% off your order. Definitely do them. They're the official drink, the energy drink of Do Champions. And also Bet US. Give me 1 second. Listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for our 30th year of sports action with the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of 125%. That's 100% of gambling and 25% to their casino. BetUS offers the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including live action and the chance to build your own props. That's right. If you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible props, daily odds boosters, a top-tiered race book, and an unbeatable casino experience, look no further. We've got it all. What about fast payouts and exceptional one-on-one customer service? We've got that too. Sign up now to betus.com by clicking the link in our YouTube, and the promo code is DUE to get the greatest sign-up bonuses. Our account managers are available 24/7 to help you get started on the best action at 1-800-792-3887. That is 1-800-79-BET-US. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. And real quickly, w.gg, that link is in our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter bio as well, or description as well.
Speaking of that, I'm the greatest gambler of all time. I am the most reckless gambler of all time.
I would put it reckless. I wouldn't say greatest. I would say most reckless.
So, quick story. Was it me, you, Will?
Yep.
We decided to play some golf, and he's asking me the pleasantries about Monmouth. Shout out them. Great FCS football, played where I played, stuff like that. Guy played at UT. And, I'm just casually, looking at the line, Matt, right? And I'm like, oh, man, Monmouth minus 2.5. I'm like, that is looking tasty.
And it was plus 200 and something for the
plus 210. So, I'm like, that's really, really good. But the selfless good man I am, like Harrison, I'm like, well, what about AOL? I got to tickle that with a parlay. And Matt looks at it. He goes, dude, it's minus 35.5. I'm like, opportunity and success favor the brave. We parlayed it.
Yes, absolutely.
Why did we do that? Because I'm a visionary and I have the mind of a champion, and I maniacally support universities and institutions. So that ends the promo. BetUS.
Yes, betus.com. Check the link in our bio.
Oh, man. Now can I freak out?
Yes, absolutely. Go right ahead.
They've had our number. You know it. I know it. It just becomes a messy game. It becomes a low-scoring game. It becomes a game of missed opportunities. And,
yeah, what was it 2 years ago against Urban Meyer? 9-6 or something like that? Or something real low-scoring. And then last year it was pretty high-scoring, but the Bills couldn't do anything until the last 4 minutes of the game, when the game was basically over.
Dude, it's almost like, some of those old crank engines and stuff like that, Matt. It's like we're cranking it, and then it's like the fans are like, "Is it the spark plug? Are we out of gas? Is it too humid? Stuff like that. Are we not smelling it right, man? What is the deal?"
Well, this year we are home. 2 years ago, we were in Jacksonville. Last year, we were in London, and we've talked countless times about how bad that field was. They laid down concrete over top of that amazing field that they have, natural grass field that they have, that pitch that they have there, and it's just I can't. I don't know what's going to happen Monday night, but if the first two games are any indication, if Christian Benford being a top 3 rated cornerback has anything to do with it, I don't see them with Gator Gabe. Shout out to Jess or Duneffy for that.
Explain Gator Gabe, because I think that's brilliant. That's how he catches the ball.
I mean, it just really comes down to the simple fact that if you can shut down Travis Etienne, I don't think that Trevor Lawrence can do anything. I really don't. They lost Calvin Ridley. They don't have they're most likely not going to have Evan Ingram in this game. So they're going in pretty low end on this. And you saw they only put up 17 against Miami and only 13 last week against the Browns. So, but this game feels like a almost like a get right game for them.
Don't say that shit, dude.
It just kind of feels that way.
I hate you. I don't subscribe to that. I'm done. Dude, maybe that's the answer of how we get shellacked every game. Dude, every time we've left playing the Jaguars, it's a who are we?
Well, no, and I meant more on the Jaguars side. It feels like a get-right game for them more than anything else, not the Bills. Because the Bills are pretty high-flying so far this year. They put up, 34 or 31 against the Arizona Cardinals, or 34. And then they put up 31 against the Dolphins. Should have been 34 in that game, except for Tyler Bass kicking it off the side of his foot. I mean, I truly think that I don't know. I'm afraid for this game on Monday night. I really am. I mean, I know it would only put us at 2-1, and we looked really good against Miami, but we'll see. I mean, Gabe Davis has something to prove this week. Travis Etienne fumbling the first week, he has something to prove to continue showing that he doesn't fumble the ball. Trevor Lawrence has something to prove after last year's, I think, 3 or 4 sack game against the Bills, against this basically same defensive line.
All right, I got a question.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get mad. Who on our defense is most synonymous with Josh Hines Allen?
So on our defense, probably either Greg Rousseau or Von Miller.
He's more athletic than Greg. He still has his step where, if you want to admit it or not, Von does not.
I don't know. Von looked good in the last couple of games.
Are we doing this, Matt? We're doing
yes,
this?
Yes, we are. Because Von looks like
You're
he has
gonna
his
no.
step back.
You're gonna
He
sit.
is a top 5 pass rusher this year in win rate. I think he's actually number 1 if I remember the stat correctly.
Your sample size are like 36 snaps, dude.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yes,
dude,
I am gonna
shut the dude. You're gonna sit here and tell me that they're running the same engine, Josh Allen and Von Miller. That's not how age works.
I'm not saying they're running the same engine. I feel that Von has his step back. I mean, we saw what Aaron Rodgers looked like last night. He looked better than he ever not ever did, but he looked better than he did his last couple years in Green Bay. So I mean, it just I truly think that adds, even his 35, 36 snaps a game. I think that adds something because they're in pass rush situations or in, a second and long situation where Von comes in and he, I mean, we sat there and watched it at DePaulo's and saw the spin move. That spin move was freaky.
He has his moments, right? Do you think that's because we're being more pragmatic in how we use him? Or, as you said, do you really believe he's got the juice?
I think he's got the juice back. I really do. I think maybe he lost a little bit, but I think he has that first step back coming off the edge again. And I think that they are very using him very, very wisely in the best situations for him to win in his against the guy he's lining up against.
Would it be wise to say that there's going to be expected theta in Vaughn as the season goes on?
So I'm not a trader or anything like that. Please explain to me theta, and I'm sure all of our other viewers as well.
Theta is a Greek in equity trading, especially in the Black-Scholes model. Theta is time decay. So if he's got it now.
So you're basically saying by week 12, 13, 14, you could potentially see a little bit of decay and him losing that step going backwards a little bit again.
Matt, when was the healthiest you ever were in your football playing career? It's you sitting on the training table before the first day of contact, getting your ankles taped. True or false?
It's 100% true.
After that, it's pain management, it's body management, it's vet rest days, it's workload management, man. If you truly believe he's got the juice, you comfortable with getting 80% of this week 14?
See, and that's the thing. I'm
interesting. It's not interesting, but it's like
I am of the mind, as long as they do a lot of load management with him, and I know people hate that word or hate that, whatever. I think as long as they're doing the correct load management with him, so he can keep his body in shape and he can keep mentally in shape and everything. I truly think that you're not going to see that time decay. I truly think that he'll be the same Von Miller we see in week 1 that we see in week 13, 14, 15, 18 playoffs. I truly believe that, because I think that he takes care of his body well.
I don't know, man. I'm hoping for the best. I hope for the best of everything, man, right? Never root for an injury and all that. But, man, injuries happen. And I hate to say it, not wishing on the downfall or anything. There's going to be an injury that's like, damn it. It's going to be like, how much do we believe in the core of our group of guys? Not necessarily next man up, but like bending to complement the man next to you. Bending to complement when you got to, maybe play out of position.
And
Go ahead.
We talk about it all the time on the offensive line. I mean, they had basically the entire season last year minus like a series without Deion Dawkins when he almost ripped his finger off. But
shout out RVD.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to come right in, step right in, and take his spot without missing a beat. We talk about that all the time with the poor play from a couple years ago. Is you saw a different Deion Dawkins 2 years ago than you did last year because he trusted the guy next to him that he's going to make his block. He wasn't having to come over and take his guy and Roger Saffold's guy to protect Josh Allen. So I truly think that you're correct in saying that these guys have to trust what's on the field, and as guys get injured, they have to be able to trust in their other players, the second and third string guys, to come in and step up, because we have seen injuries already. We saw Bernard go down, we saw Johnson go down, we saw Matt Milano go down even before the season starts, and it's tough. You saw somebody like Tua go down. Those guys gotta trust that Skylar Thompson's gonna step up and run their offense. So I mean, yes, it's a little bit of that next man up mentality, but also it's also the guys on the field have to trust the guys next to them.
All right, I got a question for you, bud.
Yeah.
We're 32 minutes in this podcast?
Yeah.
Who is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week?
James Cook.
How do we go 32 minutes in a podcast analyzing our next game, our previous game, and we have not said one word? It kind of is a little bit of a cut copy of a lot of the fan base. Man, that is such complimentary football. That takes our game to the next level, because we're almost four-dimensional, right?
I mean, Josh Allen had 139 yards last week passing, and the Bills put up 31 points. Like, that's insane that they were able to do that.
What I love, Matt, all right, is that we don't have an identity besides getting it done right now. You know what I love?
Yeah. Is this team is becoming very game specific, game plan specific. They're game planning for each team rather than here's a set of plays. Let's go out and run these, or let's throw these plays and not build off of them and see if they work later in the game because they weren't working earlier.
You know how hard it is to scheme for what you don't know? Ty Johnson got in the end zone last week.
No, he didn't.
Or
goal line, but
goal
yes.
line. All right. Man, when you have all these players that are such just dynamic athletes, they can do a lot of things and all quite well. What a nightmare that is to not only try to figure out who we're going to be, but who are the casting characters that are going to form our identity.
Well, I mean, it comes down to it is if you stop if you stop James Cook, then Josh Allen may go off. If you stop Josh Allen, James Cook may go off. I mean, if you stop Curtis Samuel, that's going to leave another guy open. If you do what the Cardinals did against Dalton Kincaid and put 3-4 guys around him constantly, it's going to leave other guys open. If you run cover 0 against the Bills, Matt Collins is going to come across your face.
I want to ask you a little weird one, because I think the laziest thing you can ever say if you want to try and break down this game ever is we're taking what we're given.
I hate that.
Let's have a moment of silence and have a think. What the fuck that means?
I mean, I understand what it means.
Moment of silence, Matt.
All right.
Now here's my question.
Go ahead.
What's more important, us just playing our brand, being us, or adjusting to what we're given?
I mean, it almost comes down to, not to go around your question or anything like that, but it almost comes down to, the Bills seemed like they have been playing a little bit of bully ball. They truly have been.
Attaboy.
They truly have been. They've been being the aggressors, minus about a quarter against the Arizona Cardinals, a quarter and a half against the Cardinals. they've been playing bully ball. They've been dictating what they do on offense rather than, allowing the defense dictate to what they can do and take what's given to them. Josh Allen's finding the open guy. He's 73.2 or 73.8 completion percentage. Like, that's right now one of his best in his career. He's actually, and here's a quick stat for you real quickly. So his EPA is +1.4 or 0.14. Okay. Do you know what Mahomes is right now?
You know I don't know what EPA means.
I understand that. But do you know what Mahomes is right now?
By the way, Jake, look that up.
Do you know what Mahomes is right now?
No.
-0.12 or -0.21.
But how can we sit here and say that we're inflicting our will, yet you're worrying about what Mahomes does?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that in general. I mean, that's you're talking.
If we're playing bully ball, don't matter where,
it doesn't
when,
matter.
Anything else. I don't give a shit about anybody else. Like, dude, if we really believe that bully ball, we don't care about Mahomes. We don't.
All I'm saying, and this is the last thing I'll say about it.
No, just tell me everything, especially what EPA means.
Expected points above average. So it's Josh Allen is at 0. There's a certain.
I feel
number,
like that's like every month when I check my credit score.
There's a certain number of points that he's expected to get. He's actually going per play above that. Does that make sense?
Dude, I know what EPA is.
Okay.
I just wound you up.
Okay.
All right.
But no, real quickly, the last thing I will say on it, because I do want to say this, is we're talking about the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, and Josh Allen is playing like at an MVP pace right now.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying is that he's dictating everything, and so he's playing a lot higher of a game, a lot better of a game right now.
Okay. Do you think he cares about that?
I don't care either. I'm just saying that to the naked eye, watching him, if you don't understand, he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Matt, you know what a posthumous award is? Don't drag me on the fucking pronunciation. Semantics is the lowest form of communication. You know what a posthumous award? I don't think there's an R in there, but whatever. Do you know what that is?
No, I have no idea.
It's a award granted after the person has died. If your season dies, MVP don't matter.
Correct. I mean, we were talking about we've
no. We'll just call it the big P word. By the way, Jake, look up how to pronounce that. By the way, Jake, great data guy. I don't want the season to die, and I don't think I've ever seen a more block out noise, right? Block out anything but manifesting our destiny. Now, how hard is that this week for Tyler Bass?
I don't know. I didn't even want to get into Tyler Bass.
No, come on, you got to.
But, I mean, for him to kick that ball off the side of his foot, I said last week that I thought it was tipped because the reaction from the players and the way that he kicked it, players were thinking that it got tipped. Like as far as the defense goes, when the Dolphins special teams were in field goal block, but he did not actually get that tipped. He shanked it off the side of his foot. The snap looked good. The hold was really good. He kicked it wrong.
Okay.
What? Why? Why is he kicking it wrong?
Well, we know that last offseason he suffered you have billions of bones in your foot. I'm not going to pretend to be.
And here's a question for you based on that same thing.
Yeah.
Are the Bills running out of trust in him? Because they did just bring in Cade York and Andres Carlson to potentially put on the practice squad or even go on the 53.
Okay. Do you believe in the yips?
I do.
Do you believe, obviously in baseball, right? Yips are a thing. People have to change their throwing mechanism. I mean, people go from shortstops to first baseman, right?
You see it all the time. You see it a couple.
Are the
different
yips?
times during
Are the
year.
yips a transitory quality with kickers? Is that a thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Name me one position besides quarterback where confidence is paramount.
Running back.
Kicker.
Well, I thought you were saying besides kicker.
So if we didn't sign those two cats, right? and we're sitting on a pretty chunky contract with Bass, and we keep saying he's the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy. Bringing in not one but two kickers. What do you think that does to
his confidence? I mean, it's going to do one of two things, and you see it all the time in the NFL. It's either like, hey, we're bringing in guys, and you either got to, light a fire under their ass, or it's going to have the reverse effect. Now he's going to go out and, be in his own head. They're bringing in kickers. I got to make this, so it's going to make him tighter. It's almost like it is almost truly like baseball. I haven't had a hit in 14 games. I'm holding the bat tighter. I'm trying to figure out what the pitcher's throwing before he's even throwing it. All those things get into your head.
what do we say, by the way? Trust the process?
That's a McDermott thing, yeah.
Right. You know what the process is?
What?
3 steps back, 3.5 to the left. It is the most procedural play in football, right? Trust the process. Why are we fucking with the process? Why are we adding any more fulcrums, any more twists if we trust the process, man? It is the most regimented execution play in football. It is the same every single time. If you got the process, you're a good kicker. Reed Ferguson, if you can get that snap back in 1.8 seconds, that's the process. Why are we fucking with the process, man? Why are we adding any cogs in the wheel? Everything about it like that?
I don't know what you'd be adding in there right now. Like, I don't know what they've added in there because
the shakeup of my job's on the line. The shakeup of you know what? I'm not good enough that you know what? There's 2 people that are competing for my jobs, and they weren't on teams in camps, right?
Carlson was and Cade York was. They got cut on cut down day or right after or somewhere right around there. But yeah,
so they're just floating. I won't do that. So they're just, I'm buttoning up, baby. Buttoning up. It's called professionalism. Look it up. No, man, they're like, they're staying in shape. They're booting, they're squatting and stuff like that. But like, they're trying to tell me that they're more in their own processes than the guy who's out there and has been doing it since preseason.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, kicker is a hard one to kind of read because
it is the process.
It truly is the process, but also at the same time, their one job. Like you take somebody like Josh Allen. He's got way more than one job, right? As far as him as a quarterback. He's got to make sure guys are in the right position. He's got to make sure that the line is lined up correctly. Yes, the line has their calls and things like that.
He's got the locker room. He's got the locker room. He's got morale.
Right. He's got to worry about everything because he is a leader on this team. Kickers have one job.
Easy.
To go make the kick. We lost the Super Bowl because the kicker didn't make a kick. Yes, it was a very hard kick. I couldn't go out and do it on grass or even turf. I don't know what the issue is right now with Tyler Bass, and it may cost the Bills. It may be the difference between the Bills going 13-4 or 10-7.
That was good.
I mean, it truly does. It truly does.
No bullshit. Like we're not like doing this for the show for entertainment value right now. Do we have a problem with Bass? Come on. No.
Yes.
No. We're not doing this for this. We're not doing this for that.
Yes.
No, I'm talking to you. Do we have a problem?
Yes. I do think we do.
Okay.
And wait, what do you think? Do you think we have a problem?
No. I think that
do you trust, seriously, do you trust Tyler Bass to go in there with 4 seconds left in a game that we're down by 1 or 2, or even to tie the game like we were last year in Kansas City in the playoffs, or here in Buffalo against Kansas City in the playoffs? Do you trust him to go in with 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left in the game to tie the game or to win it potentially?
That's a divisional round mindset.
No,
if we're who we say we are, you'll make them when they matter, when they really matter, when like your numbers, when it's ironclad and solid. But there's no way that we'd ever find ourselves just in build up or anything like that to settle for a field goal, to say we're within range. Some fucking math guy, right? Math guy was like field goal range isn't binary. Like, great. Binary. It's a one or the other. It's great. But the lead up to that is so multidimensional that we know what we have, man. We know his range. We know his weaknesses. We know when he is in the money, when he's in the cut. And yeah, that can change from season to season. If you know what you got on the back end, you know how aggressive you can be in the front end with play calling.
So, and here's a better analogy. All right. So, it's almost like a golfer, right?
Who? Let's do it.
Just any golfer. Like you see any of these guys in the pros, because we're talking about a pro NFL player. Let's talk about pro golfer, not a collegiate golfer, not a high schooler.
This is going to be about Ricky Fowler. I already know it.
No, not at all. I was going to use Tiger Woods because he's had such a fall off that it's almost like when he was on in those years between 97 and 2000, I think 8, he was on. You could not beat him. He was beating guys by 10, 12, 15 strokes because he would take chances because he knew what he was able to do. He would bend it around a tree. He would hit it out of a bunker.
He would find a way to be Automatica.
Yeah. And do you trust something like that with Tyler Bass right now? If he was needed.
Who's Automatica right now? Give me I'm not challenging you. Tell me who is Automatica right now.
Harrison Butker, Justin Tucker. Other than that, I would have a tough time saying one in particular.
What the fuck are we complaining about, man? We know what we got. We have the biggest sample size ever, and that is so powerful to dictate how aggressive we can be, how conservative we can be, and if we can comfortably take the points. There's going to be no comfortability in greatness. I just don't think, and I think it's very sensational to think that a game or a season is going to rest on a kicker, not on one play. Do you think we can be great if?
But it has. It has the last couple of years, minus the Bengals game in the playoffs 2 years ago. It's come down to one play. Or one series, or whatever you want to call it. It's come down to one play. Last year was Tyler Bass. Last year was Tyler Bass. 3 years ago in that game to take us to, which we probably would have beat the Bengals the next week. It was one series at the end, and it came down to one play, that kick. We knew if the Chiefs got the ball in overtime, it was going to be over anyways. Like, because both defenses were not doing anything. You know. So like, what are we talking about here? Like, with Tyler Bass, it's come down to one play.
No, you're wrong. Then why have a podcast? Why don't we just replay that one play over and over and over and over again? It is the confidence in the sum of the whole. And if your season is dictated truly in your mind on one play,
so all right,
let's just watch that one play.
All right, so here's the question then.
Stop it. And I got to stop you on this too. We knew if the Chiefs got the ball, it was over. You don't even believe that.
I'm a Bills fan. I do believe it.
Yo, you just went full student. You got me. Fuck!
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I did not see that coming. For anybody who was not familiar with the program, Matt just lined me up and got me upset, and he knew what he was doing, and he doesn't believe anything he's saying. And well played, sir. Well played.
You're welcome.
By the way, that new barbecue rub, E10. The
E10. Yeah. But no, I'm being serious though when I talk about this. I don't think a season comes down to one play. And my question,
dude, why?
Because there's a whole, but when you're talking about games specifically,
I'm getting roasted right now.
I literally started watching The Sopranos again today. I watch it once a year. It's like I watch that, I watch The Office, and I watch The Big Bang Theory once a year. Those are the three shows I like to binge watch the series on. But what I can't remember the actor's name. Christopher, the guy.
Christopher Moltisanti.
Yes. What is his name? Okay, but that's his character's name. So he said, "What's he literally said, what's the arc, right? Of that, something happens to one player, or something like a series of things happens to somebody. That's kind of the way I look at a football season, right? But or a game. 1 or 2 or 3 plays happen during a game that cause the outcome at the end of the game. It could be an interception in the second quarter. It could be a fumble in the third quarter. It could be anything like that. And those are the things that have to be
Getting dogged by call.
Yeah, those are the things that have to be overcome within a game. Because it can do one of two things. It could send you on the Joker arc where everything happens and you kind of go downhill and you go on the bad side of things, or it could go the Batman arc where you turn into Josh Allen and he overcomes a lot of those things because he knows what he can do on the football field, right? So my question to you though is,
how do we kill Tyler Bass like big pussy? Is that the correlation? Because
I know you have a boat, but we don't.
Oh, okay, okay. You want to tell him what cars I drive too?
No,
but please don't do that.
But no, I'm being serious. If for a lot of Bills fans, I would say I would say over 50%, if not more, believe that the season is a failure if they don't win a Super Bowl. What do you think about that?
No, what do you think?
Okay. I truly think it is a failure. I think the season is a failure, and I think that that's why you see rosters change up every single year. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, yes, you're going to see your maybe a Balin Spector or maybe a Joe Andreessen leave the team, right? But you're not going to see a Matt Milano. You're not going to see a Terrell Bernard. You're not going to see a Christian Benford. You're not going to see a Rasul Douglas. You're not going to see those guys leave. You're going to see the Christian Rasul Douglas potentially signing an extension. But when you lose the Super Bowl, you're changing a lot of things. That's why coaches get fired. That's why coordinators get fired.
By the way, we're playing a 2-time Super Bowl champion. One as a player, one as a coach. Can I interrupt you yet? Because I'm bored.
Go ahead.
Remember when we were just talking about like Harrison's tattoos and like Christian and like all stuff like that? Like he's hardcore. He believes in it. That's his face system and so. You have Bills tattoos.
I do. I have a Bills and I have a Sabres tattoo.
Right. Categorical failures, right?
In the end, yes.
No.
Yes. Categorical failures, yes.
But you got them tattooed on your body. That's interesting. So Harrison Phillips has his whole belief system, like everything he embodies, the belief that like we got this, like it means so much to me. It gives me like a drive, like it lights my fucking soul on fire. Purpose. His tattoo's Christianity. You have Bill's tattoos, and by your metric, we're a categorical failure. You see the fallacy in your logic?
I do, but there's also a difference between.
So what are you gonna get? Dune 2 tattooed on you?
There's also a difference between having Christian tattoos on you and getting your favorite sports teams tattooed on you. I have the Celtic cross on my left arm. I carry close to my heart every single day because that's my faith. But I also do believe in the Buffalo Bills. I do believe in the Buffalo Sabres.
That's your faith.
Like that's what made me as a human being is sports, is my faith, is all that stuff. And it's not only that I learn it from church and everything else that went along with it, and why I'm more because I truly believe. And real quickly, not to get off on a tangent or anything like that.
No. Don't do that. Keep going. I like this.
No, but seriously, like I truly am more of a spiritual person than I am that whole I got to go to church every Sunday because God is only in church. I believe everything around is put here for a reason. I believe that I'm more of a spiritual person where it encompasses everything, and yeah, exactly. There you go.
What a time you chose to be alive.
That is an amazing quote.
Why do we like it, Matt? Because it's kind of a double entendre, man.
It is because you don't choose when you're born. You
You
don't
choose when you come alive.
You choose when you live. You choose when you're alive.
I guarantee you, your belief system and your faith, your belief system and church on Sundays, it's also Bills on Sundays, man. Sometimes, man, it's easy to bag on things when it's a given. God's always going to be there, right? We're faith-based, right?
Yeah.
Bills are always going to be there. Sometimes the win is like, you and I, we're going to be like jerking ourselves off to the Bills for, God, we can't clip it now because I made an innuendo. We're going to be hugging each other to the Bill. So anyway, that's the show. No, but I'm serious, man. Sometimes, how blessed are we, man? What a time we chose to be alive.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, being 30,
That's the win, man.
But being 39 years old and being 36 years old, 35 years old, and to start this network and to do this, to talk about the Bills.
What a time we chose to be alive.
What a time we chose to be alive.
Yo, that is the ultimate win.
Everything comes back. Everything comes down to it.
You bagging when I'm raking?
I do. And it's what a time to choose to be alive. It truly is. And I really, I truly believe in the Bills this year. I do, because and here's my difference.
Difference in what?
Than other
difference
years.
Okay.
Other years. Because I'm a little bit more on their side, because they've proven in the first 2 weeks they don't need a Stephon Diggs. They don't need a Gabe Davis. Josh is going to find and elevate everybody around him. He's going to elevate Curtis Samuel. He's going to elevate Keon Coleman. He's going to elevate Dalton Kincaid. And these guys don't need to have, I think I saw the stat today. Dalton Kincaid has had 5 targets this year. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to be wide receiver 1. He's going to be, what's considered as wide receiver 1. He's going to be Josh's main target. 5 times he's been targeted this year. And 4 of those came at the
How much is he
offensive
tweeting?
line.
How much is he tweeting?
None.
Is he telling you like, yo, those are y'all feelings, yo? We say more by saying less, man. This team, that's might be the secret sauce, man. Not to bag on the Dolphins, bro, but like we were talking about last week, dog, right? What makes Shakir great? Knowing that he isn't the first look in the progression, and then it's like
He just does his job.
1 Mississippi, 2 you see it, break it off, right?
Yep.
You think I said it last week, not to be repetitive. Waddle, I'm the guy. He's not. It's almost like he doesn't understand his role in the wheel, right? Because it's a wheel. Because you got to keep going and going and going. It's so hard to win a Super Bowl. You got to be healthy at the right time. You got to be playing your best ball at the right time.
Well, I mean,
you need luck.
We talked about it, with last year's game against the Chiefs. Everybody's like, oh, if we had Terrell Bernard, oh, if we had Matt Milano, oh, if we had this person, oh, if we had the. Guess what? The Bills were not either meant to win the Super Bowl last year, or they were not. They were not healthy at the right time, because something happened in the Steelers game with Terrell Bernard. He hurt his ankle. He couldn't play. Yeah. It just comes down to it, and it's unfortunately, like you said, it is very, very hard to win in the NFL. You have 11 other guys on the field at all times playing against you that are paid as much, if not more than you, to make the play, to make, whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Allen, whether it's Trevor Lawrence, whether it's Travis Etienne over James Cook, or Travis Etienne over Joe Andreessen if he plays, or if Balin Spector if he plays, or anything like that. So you have these 11 other guys on the field that are being paid to make this stop, or go in the score a touchdown, or whatever the case may be, whether you're on offense or defense. But there's always 11 other guys, and maybe their collective 11 guys is better than the Bills' 11 guys at that time, because of injuries, because of anything that's happened during that game. The Bills, and that's why they say the Bills on paper, or the Chiefs on paper, or the Jaguars on paper, or the Jets on paper are so good, are amazing, are going to do so well. Look at the Ravens.
This is good.
Look at the Ravens.
Nailed it.
Look at the Ravens. Oh, they have Derrick Henry. They have a really good offensive line. They have Lamar Jackson. Nobody's going to be able to. I even myself said it. How are you going to stop a backfield of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry? because you're never going to know who's going to run the ball and anything. I think Derrick Henry is I don't understand why John Harbaugh even takes him off the field. Like, I get the
smoke break.
I get that he needs a breath, or he needs a blow, or whatever you want to call it. I understand that he needs that. But I've seen Justice Hill on the field more than I have Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry's supposed to be their big off-season signing to help them win a Super Bowl. And in the first 2 weeks, they're 0-2. They lost to the Raiders last week. They lost to the Chiefs the first game.
This is how I'll wrap it. You don't got to worry about Josh doing too much, because this is the first year he is now being supported. His game is being uplifted by the other 10.
Joe Brady said it's his offense. Like, if that's not support, I don't know what it is.
And he exists within 10 people. You know they're playing their tail off for him. He doesn't have to do too much.
He doesn't have to worry about somebody coming and yelling at him on
So
the sideline.
don't tell him that he shouldn't take the dives, stuff like that. He shows up for the other 10, and you know what? The other 86 offensive snaps, the other 10 are showing up for him, man. Does feel like a support system. Feels cohesive. Maybe it goes back to the card games. Maybe it goes back to the Xbox in camp. Maybe I keep returning to it. He feels supported. We're so past the cowboy ball and shit.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's Sugar High Josh this year, right? It doesn't feel like he's had one of those games. We may see it. We may see a little bit of that cowboy ball or Sugar High Josh or whatever anybody wants to call it. We may see,
and he'll rip it.
We may see that.
He'll rip it because he didn't have to do everything the previous weeks, the previous 10 drives and stuff like that. He is supported.
Yeah, I truly think that they built this team for Josh Allen. Between the whether it's the offensive line, whether it's the receivers, they gave Josh Allen what he wanted in Keon Coleman. Because he's never had a receiver like that to be able to go win 50-50 balls. It's just they have James Cook in the backfield. They have Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, who have not gotten used, but they're both blocking very, very well. Shout out to Jake for the trench warfare and the mismatch meter. Go check that out on our Twitter at Do Champions.
Seriously, go check that out.
It'll give you a breakdown of where everybody ranks and how the Bills match up against the Jaguars. Whether it's offense or defense or anything like that, and he even broke it down into defensive line, offensive line, and then the skill positions, the back seven. So I truly think that the Bills stack up very, very well. But again, like we just said, that's on paper. They still got to go play the game. Things can happen, and it's very, very, very random.
Who you talking to, baby? You tell me.
So this game, I'm gonna go back to the well. Von Miller, keep doing what you're doing. Keep that pass rush rate going up. Keep putting that heart out there every single snap you have. Go get me over 10.5 sacks.
You know what I'm talking to?
Who's that?
Mitch Trubisky. You keep him firing. You keep that defense crisp. You give him. You played in many different divisions, everything like that. You know what you got to do. You've been doing it. He's been doing it.
He's been doing it.
You can't attribute. You cannot attribute. Yeah. You cannot attribute this defense's preparedness without acknowledging Trubisky as an extension of this defense. Let me do it one more time.
Go ahead.
You cannot attribute any defensive preparedness success without calling him the 12th man on the field.
And with that being said, before you do, I do want to thank all of everybody that joined us tonight here on Third and Manageable. Definitely check out all of our other podcasts. We have the Buffalo Blueprint tomorrow night. Nothing on Sunday because there's no Bills game. Obviously, there will
come
be
to Ilios.
Sunday night, tomorrow night. Come to Ilios. Definitely meet some of us here from Do Champions. potentially meet some Bills players, things like that. Monday night we are going to have the pre and post game. I'm not going to be on the post game. I know you're not.
I'm not doing any of this shit.
I know you're not going to be on the post game. Yes, we're doing Ryan's tailgate for him as well. And then obviously check out our show. Post Podium Podcast. Also on Wednesday, check out who do we got on Wednesday? Coast to Coast. Thursday, No One to Blame, and then us again on Friday. So definitely thank everybody who joined us. Check out all our podcasts. The schedule's out on Do Champions. Also, we want to thank Iliad Apollos, Sons of Erie, Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools, Bet US, Hamburg Brewing, and W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions. With that being said,
Well, thank our robot listeners on YouTube, too. Hey, Matt!
good to be seen.
Good to be seen, baby. Peace.
Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making.
That's the show.